I mean, she has a point. I'm talking about Mari on her comment. She does have a point. It's just that, I mean, it's like I'm I'm somebody that likes to have good years as far as like, that's how I've always measured my life by years. I know Russ is a guy that they would usually say like he doesn't do a year in review, and I get people like him, you know, they don't do that, and as many people, they just like to go with the flow, you know. Um, I mean, for all my life, that's how I pretty much measured my years, good and bad, and you know, quite frankly, I've never had dealt with so many bad years, and I mean, even in the past decade, I've had like one bad year really, and after that, I was able to bounce back. And I think even like in the other decade, in the 2000s, I've had one bad year, but that bad year wasn't really that bad for me. The only thing that was bad about it because I kept just dwelling on wanting to be in a relationship so bad, and but for the most part, it wasn't really that bad. And obviously, one of my family members had a heart problem in that year as well. So, but it wasn't like bad compared to what it is now. It's just every time I would have a bad year, I would be able to bounce back. After one. So 2012, it was bad for me, even though I actually got hired in the workplace I'm in right now. But the way I got hired and all that, I don't want to get into details about that. But I got hired, and obviously I did my graduation ceremony, and there's a couple good things, but for the most part, there's just been more of the bad, and that's pretty much what dominated my 2012 year. So, like, and for me, one bad year, it was bad for me, but at the same time, I'm able to just, as I go into the next year, I would immediately be motivated to make it better. Now, obviously, usually the first week of the new year, or the first couple weeks, it's like, I can't, it's not, it hasn't really felt like I was going to do well just yet. But I'll know when I start doing well. And in the case of 2018, I knew I was going to start out really well because of the fact that I was going to see Sarah in concert. But what made that year even better was being able to see her in person at the airport. Yeah, shout out to Lovely Mel, who got me to see her in over there in LAX, and we even FaceTimed about it. So, shout out to her for that moment that I'll never ever forget. It's just why 2018 was really my best year. It was so good to start. It was amazing, even like toward the end of January, and February was good, and March a little up and down, but when I got to April, oh heck yeah, baby. So, but yeah, that's how I've always measured my years. I mean, measured my life as far as like good years, bad years, this and that. But right now, it like with the way that I'm working through this mental health and all, like I said earlier this morning, I just felt pretty crappy and just showed signs of a little bit of anger, and even just inner anger that it shouldn't have ever come to that. But especially with what I've been having to take, prescribed, whatever was prescribed to me. But it is going to take some time, because it's not just, I can't really say after 3 weeks I'm going to already be a better person. To me, the way I see it, taking therapy, or just mental health in general, it's going to take some time. And even if I were, let's say after what, 10 weeks or whatever it is, whatever comes to a point where I've already become a much better person, you know, I mean, I guess that's the one thing I could focus on, because I already know, like, if I was going to set expectations to where I gotta make this year good or great or, you know, whatever, and with the situation, the ongoing situations I'm dealing with, and I know I'm gonna have to be dealing with more, like, in the coming days and weeks and months, and boy, it's gonna be a heavy load of, you know, challenges on my end. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, that's why I'm gonna have to be facing, and who knows what. Like, I already feel my life starting to change. You know, just knowing what the next months will be like, or the next days, weeks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, it's just more preparation at this point than it is making this year, you know, turn around and all of a sudden it's a good year. I already know it's not, okay? But you know, even going to next year, I mean, who knows? Like, you know what? Maybe Mari's right. I should just stick to just being a better person, because, you know, it's like what I said in the video last week, or yeah, I think it was last week, that it's gonna be a while until I have a good year again. And, you know, at this point, it's just me and my mental health, and, you know, just trying to become a better person in general. I know these steps to take for me to you know, to overcome my anxiety, or, you know, to overcome my anger and all that. It's pretty big, and it's, you know, it's not something that like if this was like a school subject and all, and I'm able to solve it in, like, you know, like hours or whatever, or even just a day. This is, you know, this is relating to the human mind, you know, especially what I've been dealing with in the past. Now, obviously, I've had some extreme behavior issues in the past, but not nearly to the extent that it is, you know, now, and, or, you know, just lately, and even like the past week or so, or, you know, the past month. You know, it's just like yeah, I think at this point, if I really want to better my life, and it's got to be, you know, me just completely focusing on my mental health and before anything else. Yes, I'm still going to continue with my education as far as self-teaching, teaching myself, you know, on the UI UX design stuff, or, you know, for graphic design. If I was to get a new job, a lot of companies are going to be asking for that kind of that asset, and that kind of knowledge, since everything now is digital. So, I mean, yeah, like at this point, it's like, you know, it's just hard for me to see another good year coming up. And the one thing I gotta do is, like, take small steps at a time, becoming the better person that I am. Because look what transpired the last couple of months and the last year. I mean, who would have thought I was gonna go down the road like that? And obviously, I know that if I'm still in this dump, it's just, you know, it just worsened things for me, in that I know I'm not going to get anything out of being here anymore. And that's exactly, you know, this is exactly where my life is at. I know I'm not going to be dealing with any, like, you know, anything new, other than just, you know, taking therapy and doing all these other things. So for me, I just, you know, I think that's where I'm at. Like, I gotta just take my time slowly with the mental health process, and getting, with the help, just being patient and still trying to figure things out as far as, just getting better. And instead of another good year coming, well, just this another, I just gotta focus on being a better me. That's all I gotta say. So peace out, and let me know what you all think.